Hi everyone and welcome to the Laura Show. Today we are not in studio, we are actually in my closet, in my house, and I come to you fresh-faced and ready to get my color analyzed. Some of you might not even know what that means, and we're going to talk all about it. And I have the talented and beautiful Samantha Dempster from Inner Muse here today. Hi.
Hello. Hi, everyone.
She's going to do my colors, read my colors, tell me what colors look better on me, what I probably should wear, and maybe what I shouldn't wear, all in the way of helping us feel better about ourselves. And when we go online shopping or we go to the mall, we can focus our attention on certain articles of clothing, certain colors that really bring out, I'm hoping, our inner beauty. And so you are watching a live consult here. She's going to get started and we're going to have a little chit chat, and I hope you guys can find this valuable today. So Samantha,
okay,
over to you.
All right, great. So let me just start off by saying color analysis is like an entirely different way of looking at color, because it's not so much about when you're shopping and you're grabbing a color just because you like it. It's more about how it affects our skin and what's making our skin look the most clear and bright and radiant.
We want to look beautiful.
We want to look beautiful. So yeah, it's just a different way of looking at things. So first, we're going to start off by looking at undertone and whether you lean warm or cool.
Okay.
So I always start off with some metallic comparisons. Now this always circles back to jewelry, but in the beginning, we're just looking at the color that they cast on the skin and which one is more flattering.
Okay.
So let's start off with, here we've got a cool tone.
It's a nice fabric.
Right? It's like evening wear. So we've got a cool tone. This would be like a silver from the summer palette. And then here we've got a warm tone. And so we're looking at which one is making you look more smooth, more bright, more radiant. So when you see here the gold, you look quite even, nice and golden. Ooh. This one brings in a little bit of shadows.
Yes, it's funny because I didn't notice it when you put the gold on, but when you took it off, you can see it.
I'm going to flip it because sometimes it's nice to see it flip the other way around. But here, this is just really complimentary on your skin versus when we bring this in, the skin just around here, I find around this area is where you'll tend to see it. And it just shadows a little bit more. And then here, your whole skin just brightens and lifts.
Yeah, you can even, it brings out somehow the gray.
Yeah, yeah.
As we're getting old here, folks, we're starting to lose some collagen in the eye area. So you can definitely see that. Totally. Out of curiosity, how long have you been doing color analysis for?
I've been doing colors for 1.5 years now.
Oh,
but
wow.
I've been into this since I was a child in the 80s.
Okay,
and I had the original Color Me Beautiful book. So
yes.
I've been into this for a really long time, but I've been doing it for 1.5 years.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah. Here we've got a darker gold. So here what we're looking for is just that connection between you and the color. And you'll see here that when I take that away, there's a lot more connection, whereas this feels a little bit heavy on you. So even though we're looking at two warmer golden fabrics, this one just feels a little heavy.
Love it. Okay.
So the next step in doing your colors is we're just looking a little further in the undertone. So I'm going to compare some warm and cool colors, and we're just going to see how your skin reacts.
Okay. We've concluded, first, that I'm in the gold realm, and we like the lighter one.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Now let's have a look here. So here we've got some warm undertones. So when we're looking at undertone, we're really looking at some extremes of colors. So often they're not necessarily the colors that are for you at all, but it's just how your skin reacts to cool colors versus warm colors.
Okay.
So here, what we're looking for when we're looking at undertone is the ability to look at you and the colors seamlessly, as opposed to seeing your head sitting on a block of colors.
Okay.
So that's what we're looking at. Now, in these warm ones, I often find, of course, where this sits, not everyone likes orange. I feel like orange is the most hated overall color. I know. But just we're just taking in the up and down of the colors and being able to kind of have them transition with you. Now these ones, of course, it's going to connect back with your eyes more, but what we want to focus on is the skin. So I will...
That's true. A lot of people probably would look at this and think,
100%.
her eyes are blue, so this would go.
Yeah, definitely. So many people, when they think about picking colors, they're more concerned with matching with their eyes, and they don't think about the skin. But let's have a look at what happens with your skin.
It's so
here
noticeable.
versus here.
I'm looking down here. I have Alex is sitting on the floor here, my videographer, and I'm like, right? You see it? Yeah, there she is. It's It's shocking.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this one, it brings in a little bit of like pinkiness in the skin, a little bit of shadowing through here. And then here, that whole area has just kind of brightened and smoothed. So I just find like this zone and right here. So like, even though these are beautiful colors, and it's not that they wouldn't work for you, but in terms of which one is flowing more, there's a little bit more flow happening and a little bit more positive
Is this the part where people
happening.
get mad at you already?
Yeah, I know.
Because they're like, well, shit, my whole closet's this.
Yeah.
And like these actually seem like more manageable colors than when you kind of remove this. I'm like, who owns this stuff?
That's why I always have to, I'm like, so just ignore the color.
Right.
Because definitely the ones that are here are not necessarily the most liked, but a lot of people do really love cool tones. So let's look. This is a cool tone red. So basic. Oh yeah, it's like
this
a
is like the
blue-based
sexy red.
It is a sexy
that everyone
red.
wants. To
yeah. Now this one is like a fiery red. We'll compare the two. So here you've just gotten a little bit smoother and a little bit brighter. Yeah. And here, beautiful color, but it's bringing grayness into the skin. And
Gray makes us look dead.
Yeah, we just want to look for the colors that don't make us look tired. And actually, in your Instagram, you have a blazer this color.
Yes.
And I immediately picked up on the fact that it was beautiful on you.
Well,
so
definitely,
this definitely made me think that you were likely warm.
Okay.
So let's do a couple more comparisons. Look away from the eyes because the eyes are going to look beautiful in this, but let's just look at the skin.
Yeah, now that's interesting because a lot of times, like when people say, "Oh, I love that color on you."
Yeah.
Is that usually probably the wrong color?
Well, often it just means that the color is standing out more than you.
Right.
So when you're getting the ultimate like color analysis compliment, it's, wow, you look amazing. What are you doing? What's your skincare routine? Like
you're focusing more on your face and less on the color.
100%.
So now I like, because I've done this before once before with my mother, and I was told that same thing, and then I realized like when people are complimenting me, like I love that blazer, I love that shirt. I'm like, oh no, that's not a compliment. Like they don't realize that I know.
It's still nice to have good clothes. It's still nice to have, like I do tell people that if you find something that you love, it's okay for the clothing to be the piece that attracts the attention. If you love it, just like rock it. But overall, your wardrobe, you want it to brighten you, make you look more vibrant and radiant.
Right. And I guess if we're wearing kind of colors within at least the same tone, they can go together more as well, right?
Okay, look at your skin just like completely transformed. So while this connects with your eyes and looks quite beautiful, like when you're not comparing it, is beautiful on you. But the second I brought that up, your whole skin just like smooth. There's no need for like foundation coverage because you just look really even. And then here we've got more shadows, and here the shadows just kind of go away. So what I saw there was overall the warm tones were looking better between the gold and the warmer colors. Yeah. They were just connecting back to you. They were smoothing you, brightening, evening your complexion. So now we're going to look at the seasons, and what I like to do is still show everyone all 4 seasons. So here, this is winter. So this is the palette that everyone wants. It is one of like 2 of the brighter palettes. So the bright palettes are winter and spring, and the softer palettes are summer and autumn. So I do see, when I see you, I do see some brightness. Like your eyes really pop, your skin, your hair, like you have a bright complexion, whereas some people have more of a softer look to them.
Okay.
But these colors are really, like they're very cool and they're very intense. And so if you were, I always actually compare this to like, picture yourself in a fuchsia suit. What would they see first? Are they going to see you, or is the suit going to be the focus? And
that's kind of, that's when people say like the clothes are wearing you.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So these are the types of colors that would wear you. And as we go through, I'll put even black on, for example, compared to maybe a better neutral for you, just to see the difference in terms of sometimes black is just like it wears people.
Right.
Now here we've got another darker palette, and this is autumn. So this one feels just like it's a warm tone, but it's a little bit darker, and I feel like might feel a little bit heavy on you. I just don't feel like it's connecting, like you are brighter than these colors.
Right.
but
brighter.
you're brighter than these colors.
No offense, Autumn.
Absolutely. I always say, like, everybody just, sometimes people say, well, who would look good on this? The person that it belongs to.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so I would place, like, immediately looking at your coloring, I would be putting you among the 2 lighter seasons, so between summer and spring. Would be just closer because immediately this one connects more to you than these 2. In terms of, like, level of contrast, they're just a little heavy for you, whereas the lightness here connects back, but this is a cool season. And now we're going to compare a warm season. Okay, let's have a look. Now, if we compare just like what's happening in the skin, you get a little bit brighter over here. So these light colors kind of connect back to your lightness.
Right.
And it also kind of connects back to your brightness. So what we'll do is we will compare the spring and summer palette.
Okay.
And I might even drag in some autumn as well, just to kind of compare and show how that
so
one looks as well.
we're scrapping winter.
We're scrapping winter. I might still bring it in.
Show me a black.
For a black,
good
yeah,
measure.
exactly.
I'm gonna have to throw out all my black clothes.
I also like to show people how to make black work better if it's not in their palette. So, I mean, I'm realistic. I normally tell people if you have a lot of black already, you don't necessarily have to go get rid of it. Just maybe don't buy anymore.
Right. I try, but it's so hard because stores generally carry, because I worked in fashion, right? They do black,
100%.
they do white, and then they
And
do
gray.
the color and gray or the color of the season.
Yeah, I know you shop at Suzanne. Suzanne is
Yes.
a really great one for color analysis.
I
it's
just
so
recently
many
stumbled
colors.
across this store,
Yeah.
and they have every sweater in every color, and like you
Exactly.
can find your color
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. So I often will kind of send people that way. Yeah. All right.
Not cheap, but
No, I
it'll be
know.
worth
But
it.
you know what? It's quality and it's timeless. So there's some value there. Okay, so let's start off with some neutrals. Now this one I do immediately kind of say, pay attention to the skin because this one can look a little close to some people's skin tone. So it's not an obvious color that you would necessarily gravitate towards, but let's have a look at skin. So here we're gray. I mean, the lightness connects with you, but the grayness I find just a little bit draining. You can see a little bit of like the redness patches and a little bit of shadowing. So this is a color that is going to make you feel a little bit tired looking.
Yes,
Yeah.
I've gotten rid of most of my gray.
And then here you just like immediately brightened. Yeah, so if you see
Yeah,
this,
I see that.
and then you see that, this one's doing much better things for you. Now, just to be really thorough, let's bring in the autumn brown. Okay, so here we're looking at 2 warm undertones. So I do feel that like immediately this one feels better than the gray even, but this one is
still
best.
better.
Yeah. Alrighty, now
It's
let's
shocking
go.
how noticeable it is.
Right?
Because at first you're like, how am I going to see this? What am I even looking for? But you're right. One I focus more on the color, the other one I focus more on my face.
Totally.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we're going a little brighter, and let's compare that. Let's compare that first to the autumn purple. So this just feels heavy.
Yeah.
Like really heavy, just dragging you down. And this one, where gravity is going up. Now, a lot of people, like, if they are not in the spring family, like if they are not a spring, they're not bright, these colors will totally wear them, like you would see the color before the person.
Okay.
But I feel like in this case, I can see you. You stand up to this color.
This is making me feel like every, bridesmaid.
Good,
So I might have lucked out but in my past days.
Yeah. Now let's compare it to a summer one here. So here, again, like I feel that like you are closest in between these 2 because they're both just lighter. Like how that autumn was heavy.
Yeah.
This one is lighter, but it's just, again, which one's better?
Yeah.
This one is brightening and evening you. This one gets a little bit shadowy. Now let's do some more. We've got, actually, let me reverse it. It's fun sometimes to see things from a different perspective. So let's bring a summer blue, which is kind of like these denim blues.
I was going to say, this is like all my jeans.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like chambray color.
I'm going to have to get rid of all my jeans now.
No, jeans are jeans. I feel like a jean is like, it's a better neutral
Come
than
on,
a
what
black.
you're about to put on, I don't know if I'm
Totally.
going to find jeans in this color.
I know. Okay, let's look at your skin. You're so
It is
bright
brighter,
here. Yeah. And now, like, if you think back to that blue that we were putting on in the beginning when we were comparing undertones, that blue was beautiful, but if we'd compared that blue with this blue, this blue is like that perfect blue for you because it's got the pop, but it's got the warmth too, as opposed to being a cool blue.
Right.
So when we do this,
yeah,
it's just like,
falls flat.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not the color you want to throw on when you're feeling sleepy.
Now, of course, makeup and all that can help.
It can definitely help, for sure. There's so many things. I always say the most important things are actually just to keep your hair in the right color, makeup, and jewelry. If you can do all those, you're like winning the game already. And then if you can add in your colors, then you've like
a little
totally
like
won.
Cheek and lip goes a long way, right?
Yeah, it goes a long way. Okay, now this color is wild. Be warned.
Okay, sorry, this is a spring?
This is spring, and we're going 80s neon. But let's look at the skin.
It's surprising. Right? It's really surprising. When you hold it up, it's like no one wants that. But yeah.
But I've also seen you on Instagram, maybe in some more like chartreuse type of colors, and they look fabulous on you.
Yeah.
And it's just like your brightness stands up to this. Everyone else looks like they're ready to escort the kids across the street from school. But yeah, you look beautiful and bright.
Yeah.
And this one's just like, it just washes you out.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's a washout, right? Yeah.
Now, a summer red is quite muted. It's actually more of like a raspberry.
Yeah. It's a nice color.
It's a very pretty color.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of like the color you think of like a nice rosy lipstick. This is like a poppy red. And watch you brighten up. Yeah. It's matching your contrast and it's matching your brightness. So it's just smoothing you out. Yeah, exactly.
I got to bring this to the nail salon.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it lifts you and brightens you. And then this one.
Yeah, flat again.
Yeah, like at first when we put it on, it looked quite pretty, but when we compare it to these two, not as good.
Right.
Yeah, so I would say it's very fair to say that you lean towards the spring.
Okay. We're leaning spring.
There's 4 different types of spring, and
there's 4 types of spring?
There's 4 types of spring.
Oh my God. I thought we did it. I was like, we're done here. Okay.
So now we're going to look at the 4 different types of spring, and we will see which one is best.
So each season has 4 types within
exactly.
the season.
Okay. Yeah. So
Very
they all,
complicated.
I know. Well, so color analysis for the longest time was just the 4 seasons. So we got to the 4, you're done, you're a spring.
Okay.
But now they've gone and they've created these added palettes. So basically it's palettes that fall within seasons, like right down the middle.
Okay.
So some of them are neutral, some of them are fully warm. I'll explain as we go through.
All right.
Yeah, it's basically just not everyone fits perfectly into these little boxes. Sometimes, our coloring, exactly. Like we're so diverse. There's so many different types of coloring. So sometimes these little tweaks just put you in the absolute perfect colors.
Okay. Great.
So realistically, I mean, spring colors are fantastic on you, but could we do better? Is there a better version of these colors?
Okay. So this is the true
So
spring.
this
or
is
something?
true spring. Yeah. Now here, we're coming back to this original undertone one. So this one is spring mixed with autumn. But in general, we found that the autumn was a little bit heavy on you and that this was better and more connected. But we'll have a look at a couple individual ones to compare. Now this one is called light spring. And this one is in between spring and summer. So this is a neutral palette. So if you were spring and you fall into this category, it would be a light spring, meaning it's neutral, leaning a little bit warm. But the colors, this is actually one of the most rare palettes.
Oh, okay.
Because it's for people that are kind of the fairest.
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
Yes.
We'll compare.
Does
it's very
make
pastel.
me feel a little gray.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like because the summer was, it's not like it was close. The summer, the lightness was good, but the grayness wasn't good. And I feel like here, we're bringing back that brightness versus here. Now, final one is this bright palette. So this is a bright spring, and this mixes with winter. So it is the brightest palette of all. So almost like these two are the rarest palettes because they're just the most extreme. So this one, what you can see is just the colors are quite intense. So while you are bright, I'm not sure that we're this level
like
bright.
them, though.
Yes, they are very fun.
Why highlighter pink is fantastic.
I know, right? The thing is, like, there's a lot of wiggle room at this point when it comes to these flow palettes because they are all different versions of a spring palette.
Got you.
But we will go in and do like a little comparison between each one just to make sure that we're finding you the best colors. Okay, so here we're bringing back that beautiful spring red. like your blazer. Now here you'll see that like we're not going wildly different. This is just another really beautiful bright red. So the things it gets so close.
Yeah.
Right?
It
does get very close.
Yeah.
So this one might be a harder one to tell. But what I see here is just that like this looks ever so slightly more disconnected from you in the sense that the color just feels a little bit more saturated. And this is just a little bit softer. It's so minute.
Yes, it's
so
very minute.
Yeah.
But I do see it.
But it's there. Yeah. I'm going to do another
Saturated.
comparison.
So saturation of colors, which is why the pastels
Right. Might be a little too light.
unsaturated.
Yes, exactly. So there's definitely colors that I can compare that are less close than that. That one's a really close one, but it's about matching your own level of contrast. So here we've got a really beautiful spring coral, very soft. It just flows with you. It just looks like you should be wearing it. Now, if we were to put on a warm spring, it's not so much a coral, but we're going orange.
Okay.
And so let's have a look here. So to me, this color just feels like a little muddy on you.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not like you don't scream earthy. You're more bright.
Something earthy and grounded about me, let me tell you that.
Like this just feels better.
Out of curiosity, does it ever match people's personalities?
100%. It does. Yeah.
Because that comes from the
totally.
inside, yes.
Yeah. Like I rarely have a very bold person that falls into a muted palette.
Oh my God,
it
I
just
would
doesn't
die.
happen. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It like sends you into depression.
Yeah, well, and you know, as
Yeah.
a real estate agent, I tell a lot of people like building your online presence, building a personal brand.
Yeah.
And this is part of it for me. Like when I've had my team create my website, I gave them the colors that I like, that I think
Right.
even just for background colors or text colors that work with me, because that tells a full story. And
Totally.
and you're right. I think it kind of speaks to you as a person, your
Exactly.
personality. So,
Yeah. It's almost just like when you find your palette, everything comes together and you lean into it. It's like you just fall into harmony with yourself. So here, I mean, it's minimal, but this is so much brighter. It lifts you right up. And this again, just like that earthiness is just, it's not as good as this. That's all it's
The
about.
apple
Is
green,
what's
right?
best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So warm spring, that's not your color. Now let's have a look at light spring. So we have a good feeling that this is not going to be it, but let's just make sure to rule it out.
I feel like light spring is like every baby girl's dream.
Right. Yeah, totally. Exactly.
Like when I'm looking at this, I'm like, oh,
I know.
if I was a kid, I'd be
for
like,
sure. Yeah.
All the pinks.
Absolutely. Now let's compare. So we've got two different types of coral, but we can just use this one's a little bit lighter and it's a little bit duller, and this one's more saturated. So again, I mean, sometimes when we're at this level, things are very close, a lot closer.
Right.
So it's really just like, maybe these are both good, but which one is best?
Got you.
Okay, so here we've got a light pink. This one, it feels a little washed out. There is blue in it. It's cool and warm. It almost stands out as being more blue in comparison to this,
Right.
where we're fully warm. So this just gives you more glow. Your skin immediately looks like more tanned, more golden. And then here you've kind of like gone pale. Let's do a final comparison here. This is the Bright Spring palette. So these reds look quite different because it's mixing with winter. So here we've got True Spring again, but here we've got Bright Spring. So it's neutral. And it just feels a little heavy.
Yeah.
Like the color just feels so strong that you definitely see this a little bit before you. And then this matches
red,
you.
though.
It is, but this is really good.
It's like an orangey red.
It's a poppy red, yeah.
poppy
it's
red,
beautiful.
okay.
Now let's do these two. And before we do our final. So that one, it's just beautiful. I mean, it's a very good season to figure out that you're a spring right now.
I know.
Because if we're going to be
we're gonna
bright,
be, it's
this is
gotta
the
be
time
now.
to shop. Yeah. So
Yeah.
here, it's just like, it's pretty because you're bright. This is bright, but it's just a little heavy too. Little heavy in comparison to that. Okay.
Much better.
You are a true spring.
True spring.
True spring. So I can go through some of the
You can,
colors
and guess what?
show you which ones
The
are
last
your best.
person that did my colors said I was a true spring also.
Okay, so
these
we
ladies know what they're
confirmed.
talking about.
Good.
It's a science, clearly.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, so you are a true spring. Now there are, so let me show you the difference between wearing a navy versus a black, because navy is what you want to lean into.
So this would be kind of, well, like your pants or like your basic, your
Yeah,
foundation.
yeah. Anytime you would grab for a black, maybe
Don't
try to make it a navy.
Okay.
And your navy is the kind of navy that is clearly blue. It's not the navy where you're like, is that a navy or a black? Or
I've made that mistake.
like a
yes.
gray navy. It's a
Yes.
very blue navy.
A blue navy, like these.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can see this.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes I make good decisions.
So if you look at, if you look at this, it's still,
It's just so easy
it's
though.
easy.
Samantha.
And you know what? I tell people, I'm like, throw a gold necklace on. It just connects back to you. Have your makeup and your hair in the right colors. And, you know, if you want to do it,
Well,
do it.
You and I were
But let's
talking
have a
offline.
look.
Yeah, like it's so much better.
It gives back, and this one just takes.
Yeah.
It just, it's a one-sided relationship.
So although in my heart of hearts, and a lot of people feel this way about black, it's like it's cool, it's edgy, it makes you look thin. I mean, you can still have the same impact with a
Totally.
color that actually looks
Exactly.
better.
Yeah. Then you've got, so I'm showing you a couple colors from this bright spring palette because a few of them are spring colors as well. So we've got some of these blues, which are very beautiful.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. And this one here. Very good. This is really
This
beautiful
color I like.
too.
I don't have a lot of this.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's really nice. This kind of melon color. Very pretty. I mean,
Yeah.
this is the time of year to like
Well,
wear
and
all
this
these
would be,
pop
or
colors.
even like if I'm buying like blush,
Yes,
right? Like
totally.
to use a palette for your makeup and to say
100%.
like,
Yeah.
don't go for a rosy blush, go for more of a
Exactly.
brighter
Go-
blush.
Yeah, go peachy, or I do give makeup color recommendations. So, but here we've got
Yellows,
like
yeah, this
a
I'm
butter
I'm
yellow.
intrigued. Okay.
yeah.
Yellow can be difficult.
Yellows are normally like a pretty spring color.
Yeah.
But it is still like every palette has a different type of yellow.
Yeah.
I tend to like I like a butter yellow for a nail polish.
I see you wearing yellow.
Yeah, I'm a little like in between these two, but a butter yellow can be kind of a nice neutral.
That's nice.
I feel like this yellow is quite nice on you.
I'm curious because with the yellows, like you showed me something in the spring that there was a neon green
Yes.
almost,
Yes.
but there wasn't a neon yellow.
Right. It doesn't go quite all the way there
So it's
because
not
that
like
would
all
be
neons are
more
good?
like the bright palette.
Okay.
The bright palette would go to that next
Neon
level.
yellow. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I
yeah.
like neon yellow.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it would be like it's not far off for you. It's much
Okay.
closer than for anyone else.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Yeah. So you just rock that. Okay, so yeah, corals. Corals are a beautiful lip color. Like if you didn't want to go full red, coral is really, really good. So when you're wearing a red lipstick and it's in the wrong tone, what you'll notice is like the lipstick stands out as being separate from you.
Right.
Whereas when you're wearing the right shade of red, it just all
It
flows
becomes
and
one
comes
thing, yeah.
together. Yeah. So this is more like sometimes I'll say like this is a good blazer color, outerwear color, jacket, and then you pop a little bit of brightness underneath.
That's not white. Oh, white's is white.
White is
anyone's
ivory. Winter.
palette? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I'm an ivory.
Yeah, you're an
Not-
ivory. I'll bring it over. It's just so much softer and warmer. Yeah,
Yeah, that's nice.
So this
Well,
is
what
really
you're wearing is
beautiful.
probably an ivory.
Exactly. Yeah. What you need with the white, in order to wear white and in order to wear black, you have to have that like really intense level of contrast in your own coloring
Right.
to match up to it. Otherwise, everyone else just looks
Gets
harsh
worn by it.
compared.
Yeah.
So
This is a
here,
bit
I
of
see you
chartreuse.
wear like a blouse like this on
Yeah.
your Instagram, and I immediately picked up on the fact that you look really good on this. Like most people could not pull this color off. So that really said a lot. And then what I can do is I will drape
Oh, I
you.
like that.
I know,
Yeah.
isn't it great? I'll put you in your neutrals, and then I'm going to pop the colors of your palette over top so that you can kind of see how this relates back in terms of like a wardrobe. Here we've got your blue navy, which is your black, and we've got these, so we have ivory here, right? Just much better, much warmer. And we've got this kind of bright kind of camel. And let's do a brown. So here you've got these types of tones as a neutral. And then we're gonna pop in the colors of your palette. So when you work within your palette, everything just kind of flows.
Oh, yeah. They kind
And
of
it
all go.
just makes you pop. Yeah, exactly. They all go. And they're just
Well, and it's
meant-
interesting because, like, you know, you might not want to wear a lime in fall, but then I could go more to
Exactly.
the brown, navy, and like this color.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
then, you know, in spring you pop in these, or summer, right?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah, there's lots of ways to kind of ground a color a little bit in the fall, winter without looking like outrageously bright.
Right.
But
I don't
the
want
thing
to
is-
look like I'm spring in
Right.
fall.
Totally. But there's definitely ways to still like work within your palette, but you can really lean into those camels and navy in the fall and the ivories, and then just pop a little bit of color. Kind of
So
pick a
for
couple accents.
people at home, obviously, who don't have all these swatches, like, do you kind of just recommend like doing this with like plain clothes in your closet, like sitting in a bright light? Like, what would be the
I
recommendation?
recommend people coming in for color analysis. It's
Fair.
really
It's hard to
hard to
self-do.
do yourself because it's just we don't see ourselves clearly. You can certainly try with pieces in your wardrobe, but what I find is a lot of people don't even have those types of pieces to try with.
Right.
A lot of people stick with a lot of neutrals because they just like they're
afraid.
afraid of colors. They don't know
They
what the right
want
colors
the answer
are.
to be winter
Yeah.
when it's not.
Exactly. Yeah. It's just really hard to see yourself clearly. So just having someone with an unbiased opinion to do the comparisons and see it yourself, you're just going to feel a lot more clarity.
Yeah, I appreciate this. True spring is where
spring.
we're at, people.
Yeah.
She nailed it on the head. I knew I was a true spring. I actually was wondering if you could just take a look quickly behind me.
Of course. Yeah.
You'll see a blue suit.
Oh,
blue
yes.
suit? I just bought this, and
Okay.
I think I know the answer. It's a summer, right?
Yeah.
I messed up.
Yeah.
I messed
It's
up.
actually almost between, it's like a light spring because it's got some brightness. So if this was like a full summer one, it would look muted. Remember how all the
Yes.
colors look gray?
Yes.
So it's actually a light spring, light summer palette
Okay.
because it does have some brightness, but it leans like, it doesn't have the warmth
Of one
that
of these. I
that the
knew
spring
it.
colors.
And I already wore the jacket. See, this is what happens. I was like, it's blue, it's bright, it's
Yeah.
fantastic. And as soon as I got it, I should have known. I should have returned it.
Yeah.
There's another blazer there. The
Okay.
one that we keep talking, the red one.
Yeah.
You know, so we can kind of contrast
Right.
even this, right?
Right.
So this next to
Yes.
my skin versus,
Versus, the warmth just
Yeah.
like connects back to you.
it's the same
better.
brand,
Yeah.
same make, everything's
Yeah.
essentially identical.
Yeah.
But, you know, this one just, it wears me, or it like dulls me. I
Yeah,
would say,
it's
right?
just not your
Yeah.
best.
I know. I knew
It's
it.
still like it's
Where
still
were you 2 weeks ago when I made this mistake?
Oh, but you know what? There's things you can do. What you pair underneath it, if you can pop a little bit more of your colors there,
Right.
I'll take that from you.
Yeah, so maybe, you know, I was even
Yeah,
thinking like,
it's color pairing.
Right.
So, or even bringing in the navy or any of like the more brighter colors and just popping it there. Because, like I said, it's more of a light spring colors. You're not incredibly off. It's just that this is still better.
rule of thumb, I guess if people are generally are summer, they tend to also be silver wearers.
Yes,
and
exactly.
winter is silver.
Is silver as
and
well.
then the warm people are fall and winter.
Yeah.
Or,
Autumn
spring.
and spring. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
just get the professional. that's the root of this. Where can people find you?
At shop_intermuse on Instagram, shopintermuse.com is my website. And yeah,
Awesome. And do you do virtual, in person?
I do both. Yeah, I do both. And I do styling. So I help people find their best colors. Then I give them makeup recommendations, hair color, jewelry, and I can bring them shopping to help find their colors.
Okay,
too.
one more puzzle for you. That yellow jacket. I'll hold it.
Okay.
I love this jacket, so don't make me cry now.
No, not at all. No.
Thoughts?
I feel like this leans more towards the chartreuse, so I feel like it's really
okay.
good. Yeah.
Okay, so it's
totally.
not neon yellow.
No, it's not. Yeah, it leans more chartreuse. It's great.
Yellow's
Yeah.
my favorite color in the world, but there's so many variations.
There is, yeah.
And
So
it can
this
be
like
hard.
leans. It almost has like a tiny bit of greenish to it. It's,
Yes.
Yeah, it's not quite neon.
I see that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. She
Yeah.
passes
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Anything
You're
else we
welcome.
missed that I don't know?
I don't think so.
Well, I thought we nailed it, but I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Obviously, I believe in it. I think it's super important. And, you know, just having you come in and kind of confirm what I was hoping was already true.
Right.
Now I can really get rid of all the black and start building it properly.
Yeah,
So thank you so much for being
sure.
with
You're
us
so
today.
welcome.
And you guys,
Thank you.
we'll see you next time.